무대에서 토 한번 해야지. 무대에서 토 한번 해야지.
I wanted to talk about what happened to Chuu with Blockberry Creative. I don't think this will be a particularly long video, but I do hope to shed some light on the situation as it stands from the perspective of someone with a background in psychology. I think Blockberry's biggest mistake was actually being very consistent in their mistreatment of Chuu. We all know she's been struggling for a long time without pay, without management, without transportation, without schedules with the other girls, all of it. This has been Blockberry's biggest mistake, like I said, but not for the reasons you're probably thinking. According to psychology, we are better prepared to act out in response to abuse when it is consistent. When we cannot tell what effects our actions might have, we are much more scared and hesitant, but Chuu has been acting out in response to the company, and it is as much due to their abuse as it is to specifically their careless means of abuse. That being said, emotional abuse is very dangerous. I do not mean to downplay Chuu's struggles because they're very real. I am always a champion of neuroplasticity. I think it's one of the most powerful tools we have in that we can physically change the way our brains are structured over time, but emotional abuse does things like thinning the prefrontal cortex and the temporal lobe. These are parts of the brain involved in emotional processing. The temporal lobe is also involved in processing language, which I think is important here because Blockberry used very specific language in their statement about Chuu's quote-unquote removal from the group. They used words like expelled and removal, and I believe they did it deliberately. Expel implies some great wrong on Chuu's part, while removal portrays their role in this ordeal as if they did it from a distance with no bad or personal intentions. At the same time, emotional abuse affects the temporal lobe, like I said, as well as the hippocampus, and these are both parts of the brain involved in memory. When you've been abused, it can have massive effects on your memory, either in the act of encoding or even in reconsolidating them. Reconsolidation is when you process a memory again, and it can grow stronger but can also change. Reconsolidation is a huge factor in this situation, in my opinion, because they're trying to portray things in a different light, and Chuu could easily begin to question her own perspective and unintentionally change her own memories to fit Blockberry's perspective. We do know that Chuu has support during this time, thankfully, not just us fans who are rallying around her. Her mother aided her in creating her own company, so she has someone who can help her discern what is and is not her fault, not to imply that any of it truly is. I don't believe one word of what Blockberry said, and she has the support of staff who have worked with her as well. I just wanted to get these thoughts out there to give some people a better idea of what is probably going on. If anything I said was confusing, let me know and I'll try to explain in the comments. That being said, thank you for watching. Bye.